Good morning, Miami. Welcome back. My name is Christina, your host. And with me today is Kristen Llorca.
Hi.
She has a blog called We Are Wild Wonder. And so, what is We Are Wild Wonder?
We Are Wild Wonder is the website. It's a platform for family wellness and travel. Obviously, we haven't done much travel in this past year, and it was kind of unfortunate that we launched the site in October of 2019, and then we all know the pandemic hit.
Right. So I have to say, Kristen and her husband, Alessandro, have started their website, and they were planning and organizing a trip to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I did their first trip, which was to Italy. And, like when you're on a trip and you have one of those transformative moments where you're like, I am just full of gratitude. I just want to stay in this space and feel this way forever. How can I bottle? That was my trip. And I'm not a big yogi, even though you are.
Mm.
And here you are planning this trip to Spain, and everyone's freaking out. Like, how is
right?
So let's talk about this.
Right. So originally the trip was scheduled for 2020,
right?
Summer of 2020. We held out hope till the last second, and then we decided to move it to 2021. Mm-hmm. It's in Andalusia. And still now, probably we just decided in the last 3 weeks, like, oh, this can actually happen now that the travel rules are changing, and they're changing every day.
Yeah.
But how exactly do we do that? So many of us, there's a psychological portion that we've been locked in our homes, most of us.
Right.
Right? Like, how do we go somewhere, much less go across an ocean to another place? So we were really lucky through the Wild Wonder podcast. I had a lot of contacts that were already starting to travel. Mm-hmm. One gentleman, a theologian named Alexander John Shaya, he's taking people through the Camino de Santiago.
Oh.
So that's one person I reached out to, and he was, invaluable. Mm-hmm. All the information he was able to provide, because he just did it. Mm-hmm. We reached out to the retreat space where we're staying in Parque Nacional de Grazalema, mm-hmm. and they were a big help letting us know how they're keeping everybody safe there, what the numbers are, and how you're gonna move around should you come on this retreat.
Mm-hmm. So let's let everyone know kind of first, where is Andalusia?
Andalusia is in the southeast of Spain, off in the coast. Where we'll be staying is Parque Nacional de Grazalema, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Amazing.
A nature preserve. Mm-hmm. And they're basically these nice, beautiful white homes. There's 5 of them. They each have a pool. And there's nature hiking, there's horseback riding, in addition to the yoga and the meditation that we provide every day. And we have a chef this time. So even though my husband is an excellent cook, and he was the cook for...
He is an excellent cook.
For the Italian trip, mm-hmm. we have a chef, a local chef that'll be doing all the meals.
That is awesome. And so there's 5 cottages. Mm-hmm. Each one has a pool.
Each one has a pool. Now, depending on the size of your party, it doesn't mean that you're going to have the entire cottage to yourself. Mm-hmm. But there's enough space that a family, say 2 adults, 2 kids, would have their space, and they'll have enough space that they'll have their pool and their areas to themselves. So it's not this you're going to a hotel and have to interact with a mess of people while you're there.
I could organize my group, me, my husband, and
mm-hmm.
my daughter, and then another family. Mm-hmm. We could share that cottage together and then have that pool to ourselves.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In the south of Spain, mm-hmm. at an UNESCO site.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Andalusia. I think that's one of the cool things that you did with your Italy trip. Mm-hmm. was at a location that I would have never visited before. We always go when we go to Europe to our Madrid, if you're going to Spain, the main places. Italy would have been Rome, or we did something totally different.
Yeah, maybe you would have gone to Bologna, but maybe not Sasso Marconi up in the hills.
I mean, and it was amazing. Yeah. The other thing is, so what tips have you
uncovered?
Yeah, uncovered.
So with Spain specifically, so Europe, I believe today, made the decision to open up to the United States to people that are vaccinated with the approved vaccines, which is what we have here anyway. Spain, and each country has its own regulations and rules. So Spain, as of today, you need a 72-hour COVID test before you get into a flight. That means that by the time you sit down on your plane, your COVID test can only be up to 72 hours old, and obviously you have to test negative. You may have to test again once you get to the region in which you're staying. But these rules are changing all the time, because now we're starting to hear that maybe if you're vaccinated, you won't have to provide the COVID test. My other question was, we're traveling with children, and all of the trips that we plan, we include children in terms of they have their own classes, or they have childcare while the adults are doing their own things. So we need to be sure that we could take the kids. Yeah. As far as kids are concerned, children under 12, which right now can't get the vaccine, can go with a COVID test. So we don't have to leave them behind. And awesome. And also, while we're there, the actual site, it's following all the rules. So you get your own yoga mat, you get your own water bottle or whatever else you need. So you're contained, you use that through the duration of your stay. Most of our classes will be outside because it's beautiful, but
I looked it up on the website. It is, because I'm interested.
But if we were to go inside, we have the space to be like spread out, and everything is being cleaned down with the antibacterial chemicals that are approved by the Spanish government. And they're really great about doing that over there. So we feel confident going there. There's also an interactive map of Spain entirely, which is on the blog post I just wrote about Spanish travel regulations.
So let's show your website that has all this information. You go to www.wearewildwonder.com.
And then you head over to the Tales section. It's actually the second story, called Spain Travel Rules 2021. And you'll see there, I list all the rules and regulations. And also within it, there's this interactive map provided by the Spanish government. And when you click on that, you can see actually the percentages of COVID positive in each region. So last week when I checked, Andalusia was very low as compared to Madrid. Say, because Madrid is a major hub, more congested. Andalusia, they're much more spread out. Especially where we'll be, which is a nature preserve. So you could see exactly what you're getting yourself into, instead of just like hoping and praying that everything's fine when you get there. You could really check out what everything looks like. You'll also see on that same blog post that the Spanish government has an app that you could download, because you will need to fill out a form before going. So you could fill out the form on the app, or you could fill out the form, print it out, and scan it and send it back to them. A lot of people are saying that the app is better, because then you're getting these updates all the time as the rules begin to change.
What is the app called?
It's on there. I don't remember. I think it's like Spanish Health Travel or something like that, but it's definitely on the post.
So what about for those that say, I'm scared to get on a plane?
Scared because somebody else might have COVID?
People are on the plane.
Well, they're calling these COVID flights, right? So when the European Union says a COVID-free flight, it means that everybody on that flight has tested negative. So you're more likely to come in contact with someone having COVID if you walked into Target right now than you would on that plane.
And the other thing is, because I have friends whose husbands are pilots, they have those air filters that kill the bacteria on the plane. So it's actually very safe to be on the plane. It's not circulating old air. It's actually cleaning the air as you breathe and are on it. So,
and you would need to follow the mask rules for that airline.
Yeah, you do have to.
I know they're all different. I think most are requiring the mask as you fly, but not all. So you could check with your airline for that.
And I also think like the kids that are traveling have to wear masks all day at school. They're more used to the masks.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So on the topic of traveling with kids on a plane during this time, like they're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine.
I haven't come across a kid that's like, oh, get this off of me. Actually, most of the time they forget to take it off. So I don't think they're going to be complaining too much.
Right. Right. They're going to have an amazing experience. Let's also quickly talk about, you were touching on some of the activities that's being offered there. I really want to highlight them because they really enrich your vacation.
Yeah. So the idea behind these family wellness retreats or vacations is that you get to leave your normal life and go to an incredible space detached from what you know in your day-to-day, and you're able to reassess and rediscover what it is that makes you wonder and light up, and also what connects you as a family. So even though when we do yoga and meditation classes, a lot of them are separate. So the adults have their own class and the children have their own class. And then we do some together, like we did in Bologna. We had a partner class. Maybe in Spain, we haven't decided yet. We might do a flamenco class together. But there's also other activities that the retreat center itself provides. Like you could do horseback riding as a family or a group, or you can go hiking if that's your thing. The hiking, my mom was one of those people that's like, absolutely no way. it's super high up. It's like these tiny bridges, but it could be an adventure. It could be a great, I'm into it. I'm doing it. So yeah, there's all these activities. Plus we're really close to major cities nearby, like Ronda and Malaga. So if you wanted to go into Malaga and maybe watch a flamenco show together or have a flamenco dinner, you could do that and then come back. Or if you wanted to head out a little further and go to the coast, maybe to the beach, you could also do that as a family or a group. So it's the opportunity to be able to like be peacefully with yourself and figure out who we are after this pandemic. Because I think for a lot of us, it changed everything. I think it changed the way we work, what we do for work for a lot of us. Our bodies have changed. Our ideas of what is important have changed. And I think all of us, whether we're going on a trip or not, can use the time to really investigate, who am I right now? And what is it that I want for myself and my family and my community and the world?
I couldn't agree with you more. All of us have been affected in some form, shape, and way, period. Like, nothing else to say. Is it easy? How does one get to Andalusia and
to Madrid? Because I'm only saying that because it's usually the cheapest, because it's a major airport. So you would fly into Madrid and then take a local flight from Madrid into probably Malaga, because it's the next biggest city nearby. And then you could either rent a car, or there is a car service provided by the retreat space. So you could also request that.
I did, like for our 40th birthday, my husband and I did a trip, and one of the places we went to was Spain, and I went to a flamenco show. I've been to flamenco shows here. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know. It's kind of like that experience when in Rome, when you experience a flamenco show in Spain. To me, it's like, it was incredible. I was moved to tears. It was the intensity that they sing and dance with was just like,
it's different to go to the birthplace of an art form.
Yes.
And in a lot of these areas, they're still practicing traditional flamenco in caves as their ancestors would have done, 100, 200 years ago.
It would be definitely something that I would want to do if I visit Spain again and share that experience with my daughter. So more information. So you want to go to Spain. We want you to go to Spain with Kristen. You will not regret this trip. If you want more information, go to wearewildwonder.com. You can also find Kristen on Instagram, all over social media. Go to Instagram, wearewildwonder.com. You're also Kristen of the Wild.
I don't use that one so much. So okay, We Are Wild Wonder everywhere on social media works best. I do want to give a little note on the dates of the trip. We're working to see what is best for everyone. We don't expect a large group because everybody's still a little weary about travel. So working within the groups that we have, we can fiddle with the dates a little bit. So if you're thinking maybe you want to go a couple days later or a couple days sooner or even a week later, we could work on that for you. Just like we did in Bologna, we had some people flying in early. and we had some people flying in later.
Yeah.
And then the yoga and meditation, I mean, we have to stick to our schedule, so we'll let you know where that falls in your itinerary. But just to know that there is some flexibility in that.
What kind of dates have you decided on specific or an idea?
Right now we're holding June 25th and the first week of July.
Okay.
So we're working within that timetable. Yeah.
Because it's still not too hot in Europe.
Right.
It's actually a perfect time to go. What else is cooking with We Are Wild Wonder?
The podcast. I'm really invested in the podcast. I have a great time doing it. So if you are into podcasts, we're on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify. The podcast focuses on, just like the website and all of our platforms, it focuses on wellness, but it also seeks to democratize wellness in terms of bringing it down to the level that everyone can understand and everyone can access it. And we're not talking about all these woo things up in the stratosphere. We're really taking a journalistic approach to things like Reiki or energy healing, to tarot, to even we just did intuitive styling. And I have a glamour magic episode coming up with Christina Hernandez, which is going to be great.
Huh. Yeah. What is glamour magic?
So glamour magic, I was actually doing an episode on sex magic. I think it was a month ago. And Ash Yezuita brought it up and they said they just mentioned it. And I was like, wait, what? That has to be a whole nother episode. What is glamour magic? From what I understand, and I'm by no means an expert, is it's a way to, like, on purpose, put on an air or a confidence or a way of being in the world before you step into a situation. So, like, if you wanted to look like a boss in a situation, you would go through a ritual or do something as easy as picking an outfit that makes you feel empowered before you step into a situation. I know there's more to it, and that's why we're doing an entire podcast about it, but that's the gist of glamour magic.
That sounds cool. Kristen, since here at Community Newspapers, we are so focused on local stuff. Let's give a shout out to some local places that you frequent. So, favorite restaurant?
I have to give a shout out to my husband and his friend chef at Tortellino. They are a food truck off US 1 and 67th going north. We eat there. Obviously we eat there a lot, but we'll have my fridge filled with leftovers for the week.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So it's a Italian food truck on the corner of US 1 and 67th.
Not on the corner, northbound. So on the corner of 67th and US 1, if you just go up a block where the Dunkin' Donuts and the gas station is, it's right there. Okay. And it's all handmade pastas. Obviously tortellino and raviolis and lasagnas.
I gotta go. I'm like hungry, and I have been to some of their like dinners that they make. Her husband's Italian and he can cook, and it's delicious.
Very blessed.
Do you have a best kept secret place in Miami?
Best kept secret place. Ooh, I haven't been there in a while, but I really like Carajos, which is by your home.
Yes.
The little wine bar inside the gas station. Yes. I think that's super fun. And the food's actually good and the wine is great.
Yes. One of the best kept secrets in Miami. The restaurant El Carajo, or Carajo, I think.
Yeah, El Carajo.
Right there on 17th and US 1. It's a Spanish restaurant inside of a gas station. It is really good.
It's good. I want.
So thank you for watching today. Any other last minute things we want to talk about with the trip to Spain?
I just want you to be a little open-minded. So maybe our first instinct is maybe we're just coming out of this pandemic and I can't even fathom going across an ocean. I want you to stay open and at least have a conversation with us. Send us an email, a message. I'm always active on all our platforms. And we want to plan a call with everyone so that you can ask me directly your questions, because I can intune some of the questions you might have being a parent myself, but I don't know what specific questions you have about you and your family. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always available, and I'm never going to turn down a question.
I have to also mention the trips that you have curated so far are very affordable for a family. Mm-hmm. So don't like check it off because it's Europe. It's going to be a fortune. I'm not ready to do this. Like, it's actually probably going to be the incentive for you. So
yeah, accessibility is big as far as like our values as a company.
Big value.
I want people of all socioeconomic backgrounds, of all cultures, to be able to access the information and the wealth of connection and everything that we have. So even if you don't go on a trip, like visit us at the podcast or on the website or read a story, however you like to consume information, because there's plenty. I'm always giving things away for free. I'm always providing information for free and classes and workshops at events at all levels.
Yeah.
And yeah, we try to make our trips as affordable as we can while still providing value.
And you do.
So that an entire family can go and don't feel like they have to, you know, just do the family trips that are affordable and kind of like within the box. Like we want to be able to expand your horizon so you could like step into a whole new world of possibility.
Yeah. You guys definitely are checking off those boxes. So it's exciting. I've been a part of this since it first, like you were thinking of this
since it was a little baby Wild Wonder.
Yeah. So it's great. I'm like, I really want to make this happen. Yeah. So check it out. We are wildwonder.com. And any questions, post them in the comments. If you like this information, please like and share it. That's how you help us, this whole idea that we're trying to support other women in business. I'm your host again, Christina Hernandez. This is Kristen Llorca, and we will see you next Monday again at 11. Thanks, Miami.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.